right, here's our video. Rogue planets. Free floating planets. Floating around the galaxy. Maybe the universe. They're in perpetual darkness and cold. Exiled. They have no sun. They have no solar system. They're orphans. They're flying in space like wanderers. Nomads. And here's the thing. There's trillions of them. Not millions, not billions, trillions. And scientists just recently think that there's 20 times more rogue planets out there than stars in our galaxy. And that's just in our galaxy. Remember, we don't really know too much about the other galaxies. Because every star you see in the sky is from the Milky Way galaxy. We don't see the stars in Andromeda. We see Andromeda, we just don't see the stars in it. So imagine the planets. Just think about it, the amount of rogue planets that could be in the universe. Again, 20 times more rogue planets, or free floaters, they call them, than stars. It's amazing. So where do all these rogue planets come from? So at one point, way in the past, in the formation of a solar system, these planets were kicked out. They were kicked out of their solar system. They were exiled. And just like you're seeing in the picture here, it was mostly these protoplanets, these planets that were forming. Like in the picture here, this artist's rendition is just Theia, and Theia was a planet that may have smashed into Earth, creating the moon 4.5 billion years ago or so. But these collisions usually would cause a planet to be shot out. If indeed this is true with Theia. So collisions in the early solar system, planets smashing into each other, they would have caused these rogue planets. Of course, in our solar system, there's no evidence that that happened in our solar system. Theia, if it smashed into Earth, would have just disintegrated. The material itself would have created the moon. And Theia may have been the size of Mars. But this was common in the formation of our early solar system. So you can imagine all those solar systems in the Milky Way, these collisions of protoplanets, a few may have escaped. The thing about these rogue planets is for many years they thought they were Jupiter-sized planets, and now they're thinking that they're probably Earth-sized planets or smaller. And again, trillions of these things that got ejected from the early solar system formations. Now, another thing to think about is how are they finding them? And they're finding them through something called gravitational lensing. So let me show you a picture of that. And I'll write it down. So gravitational lensing happens with stars and with planets. It's also called microlensing. And basically it's just the bending of light around space. And you can see if that was a star, let's say you see in the middle there, every object bends space. So let's just point an arrow there, right there. And so what happens is that when a object goes in front of a star, you see that star over here, whatever that star may be, it acts like a magnifying glass. What it does is just brightens the star behind it because of the bending of space. Now, if a star did this, it would last days. But if a small planet does it, it could last seconds or minutes. So if it's lasting, the shorter duration, we know that it's a less massive object. And so they found trillions of them. One they recently found has a weird name. Let me get a red pen going here. I'll write it down. Ogle 2016, BLG. They got to come up with better names. 1928. That's a rogue planet that they found. And then when it was bending space, it bent space for 42 minutes. So they know it's roughly perhaps the size of Earth for that duration. So again, what it did is it went in front of a star, it magnified the star, made the distant star, brighter, acting like a magnifying lens, bending the space, as you can see in the picture. And again, if it lasted more than 42 minutes, if it lasted days, months, then you know it had to be a star. And obviously, they could see the brightness of a star. Rogue planets have no brightness. They're not emitting light because they have no stars that they're going around. Now, the other debate around rogue planets is whether they're actually, all of them are officially rogue. There's some debate of whether they have such a wide orbit that it's such, their orbit around their sun is so wide and unorthodox that perhaps they are tethered to their sun, but it doesn't look like that from the diameter of their orbit. So there's some debate on that. Perhaps we have a planet like everyone's been searching for Planet X or Planet 9, whatever it may be. Perhaps we have a rogue planet that it's not actually a rogue planet, but it has such a wide berth, has a wide orbit that we haven't detected it. Perhaps, and that's only speculation. So again, rogue planets, they're officially rogue planets. There's more rogue planets in our galaxy than there are stars. They have no sun. They're not tethered to a sun, or they may be, but they might have a wide berth. And they're just wandering around in perpetual darkness. That's what a rogue planet is.